Good morning. Before I officially call our proceeding, let me just check in with my court reporter to make sure she is ready to go. Tracy, are you ready?
Good morning, I'm ready.
And can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now calling proceeding number 24R-0448TR. This is a public comment hearing in the matter that was actually scheduled by a notice of proposed rulemaking, which I'll refer to as a NOPR. And it has been designated decision number C24-0753 that was issued on October 27th, 2024. Additional instructions relating to this hearing was provided via decision R24-0889-I issued on December 4th, 2024. So the public comment hearing is to take public comment on proposed amendments to the Commission's rules regulating transportation by motor vehicle, which is found at 4 CCR 723-6, and more specifically, Rule 6804A, which sets maximum rates for large market taxi cab service. I want to welcome everybody and thank you for being here to provide comments. My name is Melody Murbaba, and I am the administrative law judge who is assigned to hear this case. I do want to let everybody know that consistent with commission practice, we are webcasting both the video and the audio of this hearing. We are recording this hearing, and we have a court reporter taking down everything that's being said. To make sure that we get a clear record, I'm going to ask everyone to keep your microphones muted until it is your turn to speak. I'll just give you a brief preliminary update on how the hearing is going to proceed. First, I just want to make sure anybody who wants to provide public comment, can you please make sure that the name that appears on the screen is accurate, as that is how I will call on you if you decide you want to provide comment. When it is time to take comment, I'll ask for you to use Zoom's raise a hand feature to signal that you would like to provide comment. To do that, just click on the reactions button and then select the raise a hand option. And I'll have you lower that once you're done providing comments or you no longer wish to speak. If you're having any trouble using that feature, you can also just turn your video on to signal that you wish to speak. If we have anybody participating by telephone, you will need to dial *9 to use the raise the hand feature and *6 to unmute yourself when it is your turn to speak. In the decision that was issued providing information about this hearing, I also detailed all the different ways that comment can be provided in this case. And I'll refer you back to those. There are 4 primary ways to do that. One through the Commission's e-filing system, one through the Commission's website using the File a Comment or Complaint link. You may also submit comments via email or United States mail. And you can provide a comment by leaving a voicemail at 303-869-3490. Comments will be placed into the record of this proceeding. Any comments, including a voicemail, should include this proceeding number, which I will repeat. It's 24R-0448TR. Without that, your comments may not make it into our case. With all of that being said, I think it's time to go ahead and see if anybody would like to provide comment. Please go ahead and use the raise the hand feature to signal if you'd like to provide comment now. Okay, I can see that I'm going to call on the person identified on my screen as Mickey. If you could go ahead and unmute yourself. If you've got a video camera, please turn that on for us. It's always helpful to see everybody while they're speaking. If you could state and spell your name for us, let us know if you are speaking on your own behalf or on behalf of another individual or company, and then you can go ahead and begin your comments once you've done that.
All right, thank you, Melody, and people that's presenting themselves in this panel. And my name is Mikias, Mickias, last name Alamirew. I'll go with Mickey. I'm representing All City Taxi. I'm a board of director and also a PUC representative. The reason I'm participating in this, I got the email, even though if it's last minute, the the correction that you guys trying to do, the flag drop per miles and also traffic delay. And I don't have a lot on the traffic delay on others. The waiting times, I don't have any problem, but the flag drop from 350 to 440, I think they try to change the suggestion. So I'm strongly disagree and based on the business type that we have, we serve around the metro area, the big LMT area, and that will hurt our business and also our drivers as it is because of the price and also the service we provide. Most of our drivers have a hard time to get a trip and to work in this area. So adding that, the price is going up. Will push us to lose a lot of customers that the one we have to have another way of transportation because Uber, Lyft, and other transportation companies their price is lower. So in order for us to participate in this game, we have to have a reasonable price so that it will put our price up so people will stay away from us. So I want to clearly say that the 440 will hurt our business in a way that it never happened before. Thank you. If you need more clarification, I can add.
Yeah,
But for now, that's what I have.
I really appreciate that feedback. One of the things that really surprised me is that there were no written comments that have been filed. And I'm just wondering, is there a reason why you didn't file written comments?
So I just found out about this hearing yesterday. I didn't get any email. I called some of my connection at PUC. They just forwarded this morning. So I just found out. So it's I don't even know who filed because what I asked is how the PUC trying to entertain this? I heard some other company request, so I don't have any information that who requested, when was it requested, and how long this thing is going on because I didn't get any emails.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Overall, I didn't see any comments filed, so I just generally have been very surprised. I'm glad that you did learn about this when you did, and I really appreciate that you joined us here today. And on that note, we've got a couple of other people who have joined us, and I don't know if you all would like to provide comment, but I strongly encourage you to share your thoughts because at this point I've received very little. So is there anybody else that would like to provide comment on the proposed rules? If so, go ahead and use the raise a hand feature or turn on your video camera.
Turn on Zoom. Yeah.
Okay. Hi there. So I'm going to call on the person who's turned on their camera and identified on my screen as Mohammed Raid. I don't know if I said that right. If you could state and spell your name for us, let us know if you're speaking on your own behalf or on anybody else's behalf, and then go ahead and begin your comments when you're ready.
Thank you, Judge. My name is Mohammed Warid, MohammedWarid. I'm speaking for behalf of Union Taxi. So I'm just against raising the especially the meter fee from 280 to 352. So it's going to be killing the business of taxis that already we're shrinking the volume we are getting from year to year. By adding this, when this is changing coming up, it's going to kill the business of taxis. So we already seen the customers complaining. The maximum right now is 280. So 280 is aligned with also with flat rate zones. Flat rate zones is very close to what the meter we have right now. Last time when we had a meeting to increase the flat rate to align with the meter rate was very close. So when adding to from changes the meter rate to 352 mean this business gonna be is gone. This taxi is gonna gone. So we don't know who is behind this. We didn't request as a unit, as taxi companies. The PUC is not calling us to forward to put this is for public hearing or propose to change the maximum rate to the current proposed rate. So this gonna be we just keeping as it is. The old rate we have right now. So we are firmly against the current new rules.
Sir,
I
could
think
you repeat that last sentence, please?
we are against any increase from the what we have right now. We like to have the current one we have on 2018. So we strongly disagree with the proposed new proposed rules. So we proposed rates. So we want to have as it is, remain as it is. So the one it says with on a proposed ruling, it says inflation and the other issues also. The certain companies asking for waivers. We don't know who asking the waivers so far. So the company can, if you want to have more, if the company want to have more rates, they can ask the waivers through PUC. But currently, we talk to different cab companies. Nobody is willing to have more than this because it's kind of killing the business we have right now.
All right, thank you for those comments. I have a similar question for you. Is there any reason why your company didn't submit written comments?
Oh, by the time so we get back to it, it's times already. The deadline was out. By the time I realized I have to make a comment on this one, I'm out of time. So that even so that I'm waiting to make a on public hearing. So if you are later asked, I can submit a written comment if you let me do that.
Yes, I'm thinking that I will keep the public comment period open for a little bit, just to see if I can get some more of these types of comments in writing, though this is part of the record in the case, and is absolutely going to be considered and will be considered just as equally as a written comment would be considered. I was just, again, as I noted already, I was very surprised that there weren't any written comments. So I was just trying to figure out whether we had an issue on our end, and I don't know that we did. But I think I will most likely keep the public comment period open for about two to 3 weeks after today's hearing to give everybody an additional opportunity before I issue a decision.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you would like to add?
So no, I don't have anything to add. So just to be clear, like Mickey says, Mickey's running next to the biggest company. We are the largest we're running in the city right now. So you can see from the largest taxis right now, Union Taxi. So we get more. If we put this more, if the rate is up, we're gonna be shrinking more. So we just firmly against rate change.
All right, thank you so much. Let me go back to Mickey, and I'm sorry I didn't get to write down your last name. And I believe you're with All City Taxi. Did I get that part right?
Yes, Miss Melody. That's I can spell it, no problem.
Okay.
My last name is A as in apple, LAMIREW.
And it was M-I-C-I, I believe you said A after that, right? M-I-C-I-A?
MICKIAS, Mikias.
Okay, got it. Okay. Did you have anything more you would like to add?
Yes. If I may, like Mr. Warid said it, so there is about 10 taxi companies that in the metro area that we get together and we try to come up with the best way to serve the city. And most of them, I got about 5 of them text me this morning. They didn't get the meeting information and the password and everything, so that's why they couldn't make it, some of them. and we usually get together, and I asked some of them, none of them told me that they the one who requests. So if you don't mind, I don't know if it's allowed, the state allowed to inform which taxi company was asking a waiver, or just you guys, part of you guys just trying to change this. I want to know if it's possible to know which company is requesting this, because Mohammed is a union, and some of them is the bigger company less than us, but a lot of drivers in it, and none of them say they request this. So I want to know one. The second question I have is, if you extended another 2 weeks, do you want us to respond with a written letter, or this is enough? And what is the next step after this? If you want us to get together and come back to you with all taxi company, I can set up that meeting also if you want.
Okay, thank you. As to what companies or drivers might have been requesting a waiver of this rule, I really don't know the answer to that. I don't think we have that in our record. And, unless it's in the record in my case, I tend to not know the details. And as of right now, I'm just looking at, is there justification in the record in our case for the proposed rule? That's sort of the test that I take to it. And does it serve the public interest? Those are many of the questions that I ask when looking at whether a rule should go into effect. And I also like to look at, what are the long-term consequences? Are there any unintended consequences? I am certainly hearing some unintended consequences from all of you here today, and I appreciate getting that feedback. I will establish, let me just pull up the calendar, go over what next steps are since you asked that question. So I don't think that we need to hold another hearing about this. I appreciate the feedback that I've received today. What I do want to do is allow the opportunity for those who would like to submit written comments. And let's see, so today's I will keep the record open for written comments, at least at my phase of this case, until January 24th. Let me ask, do you think enough time? And it might just be that written comments weren't submitted because a lot of those deadlines were right around the holidays and people just lost track. This is about 2.5 weeks. Do you think that's enough time for you or even that group that you all chat with, the other taxi cab companies, to submit written comments?
3 weeks will be enough. 3 weeks is okay, but if you insist to, no problem. But 3 weeks will be nice.
Okay, well, I can set it to January 28th, which would be right at 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do it on the deadline for public comments will be January 28th. And in terms of whether what you've provided today is enough, or if you should also provide written comments, I'll just say that's really up to you. I've made a note of the comments that you've provided. I do think sometimes it's helpful to have it in writing. People just tend to be a little bit more persuasive when they have to put something in writing. So it can be very helpful to also have the comments in writing, though I have made note of everything that you all have said, and we have a court reporter taking it down word for word. So it is part of the record, and it's certainly up to you. I don't want to discourage you because I really do like having written comments as well. Did I answer your questions?
Yes, it was a good.
Okay, thank you. And I see that Mr. Raid has his camera and he's unmuted. Was there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah. So is there any public PUC staff gonna make comment on this one, or they will submit the written one? I got a question.
Do you mean, would PUC staff?
PUC staff, any comment right now, or just is it submitted to you, or they are going to comment on this hearing?
Well, I think we've got a couple of staff members that are observing. If they want to comment, they can certainly use the raise a hand feature if they want to. I think that typically how these cases work is that the staff are the ones that help, get to that point where the NOPR is even issued. And so, a lot of times you see it in the actual decision that is written up, sort of the background as to how we got to where we are. And if staff wants to comment, they'll be able to comment as well, either today or, in the next couple of weeks where I'm leaving things open.
So can I also suggest to PUC staff, is there any ways they can help in taxi business? I can comment different than the rate change. Can I make comment on it? Suggestion?
Well, I see that one of our staff members has turned his camera on. I don't know if that means he would like to sort of respond to that. So I'll just call on you and let us know. We've got Nate Riley, who is with the Commission's transportation staff. Mr. Riley, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, and good morning. Nate Riley, I am the Section Chief for Transportation, speaking on behalf of transportation staff of the Commission. I guess I would like some clarification from Mr. Warid about what specifically are you asking for? It almost sounds like what you're asking is, is there anything else that PUC staff can do for the taxi industry outside of the rate increase that's currently on the table in this rulemaking proceeding? Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes, our biggest, the largest payment we pay to the right now for the insurance last time on 2017 or 18 on rulemaking. So I don't know who was the administration judge was. We tried to submit a lot of data to reduce the insurance limit from $500,000. So we requested for to help us to strive for taxes is we pay a lot of money for insurance liability right now. It's up by more than 40% right now, or 50. Some companies, small companies, they added up by 70% what they pay to the insurance. So is there any way so that you bring it to the hearing like this so that we can show all the data through United States what the taxi limit is? So last time was our proposal was around 300,000 was rejected. And if you collect all the data from United States, a lot of cities is 100,000, 50,000, 30,000, even not close to 500,000. So like 500,000 close to I think San Francisco is only above above us. So we if a PUC try to help these old industries, try to look into try to look into this to the insurance so that we are on board and open up for discussion and for hearing so that this limit is gonna be go down and so that we're gonna get is the limit is go down, we're gonna get lower rate as it is. So thank you. That's why we try to bring you attention, Mr. Nate.
Okay, so now it's sounding like instead it sounds like, at least from your perspective, it's not so much that the industry needs a rate increase, but rather a decrease in the minimum thresholds for financial responsibility and insurance, which is certainly a different kind of conversation. I'm not sure if that would be something that could even be handled within the scope of the current NOPR. That would be something for the ALJ to decide. But yeah, I think that, at least based on what I understand from the scope of this NOPR, it's about whether or not, and kind of gauging interest of the industry on whether or not the current maximum rates that are set in rule, which is pursuant to statute, for LMTs and what they are eligible to charge for their various services. That, I think, was what the commission was trying to solicit comment on, is whether those rates, which admittedly have been on the books dating back to 2018, are still the appropriate maximum rates, or if maybe they were due for some kind of an increase based on, some of the inflationary pressures that I think we can all agree everyone has felt over the last few years. So I guess that would be my response to that. But of course, PUC staff is always willing to engage with the industry on discussions on all aspects of regulation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Riley. I'll just say from my perspective, this is a pretty narrow rulemaking. There's only one rule that's been included and proposed to be changed, and it has to do with these maximum rates. While sometimes other issues can come up in rulemaking and we can bring it into the rulemaking, I'm just not seeing changes in insurance requirements as being one of those things that we can address in this rulemaking. I think it's just too far outside the scope of the rulemaking. And frankly, it involves a lot of other issues and concerns. And I think we would really have to do a whole new case, a new notice that would need to be sent out to a lot of transportation carriers to get their feedback. And they wouldn't be the only stakeholders in that process. So I just don't see being able to make any change to any of the insurance requirements. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, I see that All City Taxi again has something to add. Macias, can you say your last name for me? Because I don't think I actually heard you say it.
Alamaru.
Oh, it's beautiful. Alamaru.
Thank you. Hey, Mr. Nate, good to see you again. It's been a while, so I haven't seen you. You become like me, so that's good. I like that. Actually, what I want to say is I understand there is the very few narrow pathway, so this is a different set. I'm not requesting so you can judge on this because it's not appropriate, but my understanding is Nate and his team and all what you guys trying to do is to help us out because this is 2018. Back in the days, this rate was set. I understand that part, but what the problem we had is it's not about the rate that we had a problem. We had a problem was the flat rate was too low compared to the rate that we can use. So because of that, we were asking, hey, can you guys just help us a little bit because life has changed, inflation, all this. So can you just lift up a little bit about the flat rate? But somehow, I think it's lost in transition or misunderstood each other. We weren't asking for the rate to be changed. What we were asking for is the flat rate to be changed a little bit to help us out. But if you guys are willing to help us out, the biggest problem that we have is the insurance requirements. So even though you cannot do nothing, just guide us because it's as as you know we were born here. We born in Africa, try to adjust American life. So we don't know how we can come up with to request the system or the PUC to have this kind of statute. So if Nate or anybody can guide us, we'll take care of it. We'll file it proper way. So we can have another hearing about just only the insurance and other stuff. We are more than happy to invest, to even pay for anything, a writer or a lawyer, whatever you guys want us. But we don't know which way to go. Last time we talked, they said, yeah, we'll think about it and we'll talk about it, but it's been years. Nobody come back. So if you guys are helping us out this way, please help us out on the other way. Not today, but give us a timetable in a month and 6 months. Let's sit down and how can we make it better? Because at the end of the day, we're serving the people, and is the public will be benefited if we get a little bit break in insurance? Yes, because our driver will be happy, and also we're not going to charge them drastically, like excess amount. One or two driver do something, and Riley call and say, "Hey, Mickey, they're doing this. So we will ease that problem if we get help on the insurance part. Not today, but if Nate is okay, 6 months, 3 months from now, I'll be more than happy to assist on this. Thank you. I cannot hear you. I think it's you are mute.
Sorry, I had
Oh, now I can hear
another. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you for your comments. I'm sure that Mr. Riley and other commission staff members are going to take all of that under advisement and consideration. And if additional rulemaking or stakeholder discussions are appropriate, I imagine that you will hear from Mr. Riley or somebody else from the commission's transportation unit. Is there anybody else that would like to provide comment? To do so, use the raise the hand feature or turn on your camera. Mr. Reddy, do you want to provide any additional comment? I noticed that your camera's on.
No, I don't. I'm
Okay.
done. So thank you so for having us. We already put our input. Also, other very important insurance thing. So that is one of the thing we stressed up the last 3 years, especially after COVID. The rate is up like exponentially right now. So that's all we have. Thank you for listening to us and also the PUC staff members. I hope they're gonna take attention to these issues and bring us probably propose us for rulemaking as they did for last time for rate change or for this thing, so they can be able to come up with something. So we're gonna expect something from them soon.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to provide comment? Again, you can use the raise a hand feature or turn your camera on for me. I see that we have an individual identified on the screen as Mark Slater who has turned their camera on. Sir, would you like to provide comment?
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, if you could state and spell your name and let us know if you're speaking on your own behalf or on behalf of anybody else.
Sure. Mark Slater, MarkSlater. Speaking on behalf of Z Trip in Colorado Springs. Good morning, everyone. And not necessarily a comment or recommendation, just a question for clarification. The reporting or comment period has been extended, looks for a couple of weeks or so. If you could just help clarify for me the process by which we would submit additional comments in the coming weeks. How is that done?
Sure. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
I do.
Okay. Have you ever, so the most direct way to do it is if you are registered in the commission's e-filing system.
Okay.
Are you registered?
So I'm new in this role, but I do know that my predecessor is registered.
Okay, so your company probably has an account. I'll
Correct.
give you the website address right now, just so that you've got it handy.
Ready?
It is www.dora, that's DORA, state.co.us /P as in Paul, L, S as in Sam, /E, F as in Frank, I, /E, F as in Frank, I, homepage.
Thank you.
That's a direct link to our e-filing system. And if you get logged into that, you can make a filing directly in this proceeding, and it'll come in like any other filing in our case. You look up the case with our proceeding number. I'll give that to you again. It's 24R-0448TR. And then I'll just go over the other ways that you can provide comment if you're having any issues with using the e-filing system. We do have on our website a link that says that you would click on that says file a comment or complaint. And that website, that link, you can find it at puc.colorado.gov.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, and you'll again put in the proceeding number so it gets into our case. You can also email us and I know I've got the email address. Hold on just one second and I'll get you the email address. Okay, so the email address is Dora, that's DORA _ PUC _ website at state.co.us. Again, make sure to include our proceeding number. And then you can also leave a voicemail at 303-869-3490. Again, include our proceeding number. And you can also send us comments by US mail. We're located at 1560 Broadway in Denver, Suite 250. I think the zip code is 80202, but that's also easily confirmed if you go to our website.
Terrific. Thank you.
So hopefully it'll be pretty easy for you to submit comments. And I really want to encourage you and everybody to, your feedback makes a big difference in these kinds of cases.
Of course, yeah. I think it's pretty easy.
Okay, great. Any other questions?
No questions.
Okay, thanks. Does anybody else like to provide public comment? You can use the raise a hand feature or just turn your camera on for me. Okay, I'll just note for the record that nobody else has signaled that they wish to provide public comment. And so with that, I don't see any reason to continue to hold the hearing open. I will just again remind you all, I'm going to hold the public comment period open until January 28th. Please get any additional comments you'd like to file submitted into our case by that day at 5:00 p.m. Our e-filing system will not accept anything filed after 5:00 p.m. It'll automatically go to the next day. And again, want to encourage everybody to provide your public comments in writing as well. And if there are others that were unable to attend this hearing that you know of, please also encourage them to submit their public comments. I promise I will read everything that is submitted and I will take it all into account as a part of the decision. Once the public comment hearing is closed on January 28th, the next steps will be that I will issue a written recommended decision advising the commission on whether the proposed changes should be adopted. I don't know exactly when that decision will issue. It probably won't be too long after January 28th. I also will say that depending on what happens with comments, I may decide to hold another public comment hearing. As I sit here right now, I'm not sure that it's necessary, but I am going to monitor the public comments as they come in after today. And if other issues come up and it's given me a good reason to hold another hearing, then I will issue a decision that sets another public comment hearing. All right, so with that, I want to thank you all for appearing and for participating and providing your public comments. Our hearing will now be adjourned. Thank you.